Reveille, reveille. It's a rookie veteran. Somebody asked for a truck tour. Let's do it. So, starting off, this is an International ProStar 2017 model. Gauges from left to right, top to bottom when they're stacked. Diesel exhaust fluid, urea, it in combination with the diesel particulate filter and some other catalyst systems that are installed. It reduces the amount of emissions the truck makes. Water temperature on the truck, engine oil on the truck, engine pressure on the truck, RPM. It don't spin that high. 20k is the best you get. Well, 2000 RPM. Speed, voltage, brake air for your service and emergency, and then fuel level. Truck's off, so all the gauges are off. It's got usual controls. Shift control there, plus you can put it from auto to manual, be able to select your gears. Turn your exhaust brake on or off, because this has an exhaust brake, not a Jake brake, so it's a lot quieter. Air horn buttons there instead of having a handle. Okay. Security code. This truck is secured. You got to have the code to be able to start it. Well, you can start it, but you throw her in gear and take the e-brake off, and yeah, you ain't got the code in, and you'll hear a lot of beeping in about 10 seconds. It's gonna shut the truck off, pop the brakes, and yeah, you ain't going freaking nowhere. Various other controls: mirror heat, sleeper temperature, sleeper fan. I can control the recirculating sleeper ventilation system from in here. Engine brake level. Off-road allows more slippage. Disabling hill assist if you don't want that. Bluetooth fancy radio. Then you have PDL. You look at most semis, you've got two sets of wheels behind the truck. Those are the drive tires, drive axles, and depending upon the configuration of the vehicle, it may only drive off of the front axle of the tandem drives, or it may be able to drive them both. If I flip that switch, it goes from just driving the front to driving both axles. Sliding the fifth wheel. The connection point on the trailer between the truck and the trailer can actually be moved on the truck. It deals with weight and balance and moving weight from in the steer tires of the truck towards the back. Just like on most dry-van trailers, you can slide the tandems on the trailer, which allows you to adjust the load between the trailer and the truck itself. The guarded switch, unlocking the fifth wheel jaw, that allows me to be able to, instead of having to yank a handle if it's dirty, nasty, whatever, I hold down that switch and it will unlock the jaw for me, and I can just drive away from the trailer, provided I disconnected and did everything else. Parked regeneration. The selective catalyst system, or whatever it's called, the emission system on modern trucks requires regeneration. What that means is that it has to burn more fuel in order to be able to actually burn cleaner. Because the diesel particulate filter will get clogged up with particulate from just driving, and it will have to regenerate by heating up the exhaust a couple thousand degrees basically in order to burn that off. So it's got if you can't, normally it'll do it on its own just driving around. If it won't, then you have to do a parked regeneration, which takes about a half an hour, and if you don't have an exhaust that empties up like a stack, if you've got what's called a weed burner or a bottom exit exhaust, you can actually melt a hole in the pavement. And then you've got your standard HVAC controls. Trailer brake, park and brake. I've got a piece of Velcro that I use right there for holding my stapler, because my stapler is important. And pens. I keep a little bit of Velcro on there, a little bit of doing things that way. The Bendix system. This truck and most modern trucks now actually have a radar on the front. I can tell exactly how close you are when your ass cuts me off, and I can tell how fast you're going. And if you're really driving like a douche, I can share that information. XM radio, because yeah, I need my tunes. My tablet, which normally is running Smart Truck Route. But this is my navigation that I use. So it works really well. It uses a combination of a truck navigation database with Google Maps. Lets me see satellite view, so if the address leads me to the man door in the front of the building, I need to go around the back and come at a different street to get there, I can do it. Then the magnetic mount for my phone, which I'm using to film right now. My Zonar, which is what I have to use for e-logs as well as pre-tripping. It'll come off, and you can do messaging and stuff. Refrigerator, Doom. Trash can. I use the actual trash can for wet trash. I use a bag for dry trash. Ugh. Down there I got my handheld spotlight, because dark, wet parking lots may not have really well marked spots where I'm supposed to pick up or put trailers, and it lets me be able to spot things from a distance, obviously. Damn near 2 liters worth of soda, cracker snacks. Storage up top. I got all the manuals right there. I've actually read them all. I just forget some nomenclature sometimes. My reflective vest and helmet that I use if I need to. Spare hat. Velcro. Bags. Various other stuff. Paper towels up there. More hat. Tobacco. Snooki. Rags to be able to clean my sunglasses, more tobacco, tape measure, headset for driving hands-free, notepads and pens and stuff. In here, I keep my paperwork. Then flipping around, you got a set of drawers. Bottom drawer has got all my canned goods. Middle drawer is random. Top drawer is plates, forks, knives, spoons, etc. Then I've got my space right here, got a light right there. Keep my Bluetooth keyboard for my tablet right there. I got Velcro on the back, so it'll stay there when I'm driving. My water heater, so I can have warm ramen, as well as be able to make breakfast, because I've got instant oatmeal in here. In here we've got my crock pot, 12-volt crock pot. I've also got a lunchbox cooker. I've got glasses, I got more paper towels, I got my various other stuff. Underneath the bunk bin, that's basically snivel, more or less. Bed's a bed. Bed comes up. You've got where it's lit up over there. I've got a radio control, heating control, bunk heater control, is because this has an auxiliary diesel-fired bunk heater for if it's balls ass cold. Top bunk, I just have my dirty clothes bag, my shower bag. I load up with clean clothes whenever I need it. Then I've got a ultrasonic nebulizer, which I use for my various essential oils to keep the truck smelling clean, and we use them at the house, and I like them. You see that 550 cord? That 550 cord is actually for hanging my tablet, so I can just chill right there, laid out, because that's where my head normally goes, and have my tablet right there at right proper viewing distance for being able to watch movies and stuff. Because I got movies, man. Clothing's over there. This is a closet. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. I keep the butt pack off of my Liberty stock down there. It's got various sundries. Empty bottles from Gatorade I've drank, since I chew, so I need spitters. And I just dispose of them when I'm done. Snot rags, because I had a cold. Comb, because I gotta keep looking dapper. Thermos. Had to think for a minute. What the hell is that thing? Thermos, because coffee. It's empty right now. If it was full, it'd be farther forward, but it's out of the way. various paperwork that I have either filed or yet to file and just need a stow. My little filing cabinet there. Got my Carhartt jacket with another reflective vest, and then I got my road map behind there if I need to get to the road map. This is the pantry, or what I use it for, because I eat a lot off the truck versus buying food, because it's cheaper and it's more convenient for me to just be able to stop and get my nom on. And I've got more food, like canned goods and stuff, spread around. So that is the inside of the truck. Oh, CB. You ain't a trucker if you don't got a CB. At least in my eyes. That thing's let me... There's a ton of information that good drivers will share. And if you ain't got a CB and you drive, you're doing it wrong. In my eyes. You're driving blind. It's removing a sense, because you can tell whether or not you've got traffic, you got an accident, and you should be in a different lane, whether or not the change controls are up, because they don't always say whether they're minimum or maximum on the little weather radio BS. And just, yeah, it's just good information. Then, what else? You got two sets of curtains in this. One curtain will go out around here and will block out just the front, and then the second one will close off between the driving portion where I'm standing right now and the sleeper. But if you put the front curtain, the whole thing is a sleeper. And that is it. It's not a whole lot of space. This is nice because it's new. I got windows that open up there. I got bigger windows that open down there. Got covers on them just to keep it dark in here because I was sleeping during the day. You got LED lights that are up there, one up front, two there, one under here, and then last but not least, you've got two that are up here. And you actually have two visors because of the fact that if you're turning on the road and everything, you keep this one over on the side, flip this one down. Some trucks have one there. That's the Bluetooth microphone, or at least a hands-free microphone that's built into the truck. Not really positioned well. Picks up a lot of road noise there, or just truck noise. It'd be better if it was over here, say, where the CB speaker is, because you got speakers in the doors. Doors. In there, I've got my gloves, I got my padlock for whatever cargo I've got. I got my air gauge. I've got a glad hand lock to be able to lock up a trailer, although those don't work that well. And I've got a metric crap ton of metal and plastic seals to be able to steal cargo as necessary. You got window controls, you got mirror controls, you got big old mirrors that really work well with the mirror heat. And then down there you got automatic lights if you don't want to just switch them yourself. You got your headlight switch, and you got a work light switch for your work lights in back. That way you can hook up. And then over here I've got a switch that lets me turn on my floor lights, which is just a red light down there, red light down there, and then I believe, no, it doesn't turn on the white lights. And then this switch allows me to turn on and off the switch in the light up top in the bunk. That one there. That one. And then this switch basically controls whether or not you got illumination. Off, you open the doors, you won't have lights. On, you'll have lights underneath the doors, and it'll turn on the cab lights. And then if you turn on the cab dome, that's that light. So you can get some good illumination. Air conditioning and heating in this thing are awesome. It will burn you out or freeze you out. But yeah, that's a truck, and that's This is how I roll. So the fridge is a necessary thing for me because I like having my cold drinks cold, and sometimes I carry refrigerated or needs refrigerated food items like steak and stuff. So there you go. One thing I forgot, and we'll throw in now, is the underbunk storage. So I gotta hold this. So that's the bunk heater, the diesel-fired bunk heater. That goes there. I got Gatorade there. I need to move it if I turn the bunk heater on, otherwise it'll get melted. I keep a lot of bottles of water because I just drink water. And then you've got the accessible from outside side boxes. You can see how that's a door over there. You can see it even better over there. You got two LED lights that turn on when you either lift the bunk or open those doors. That air line will hook into my brake line and allow me to use the onboard air compressor and air tanks to air up tires. Dust masks, because sometimes I gotta sweep out trailers, and sometimes what we keep in trailers isn't exactly the nicest stuff. Examples being shipping recycled glass, shipping recycled metal, shipping fiberglass, just off the top of my head. Wearing a respirator is a good thing. Straps out the anus to be able to make sure that cargo is secured. I got a light kit, an e-tool in case I got to poop on the side of the road. I got a broom. I got radiator fluid. I got oil. That's windshield washer fluid. I use it the most. And then that'll be a later video. That's freaking tire chains. And then this is all the AC HVAC unit for back here. It intakes right there. It's got a blower, an exit port there, and then you've also got an exit port there, and you got one up top, and that's all controlled there or up front. Obviously I like my Whoopee because my Whoopee keeps me comfy. And then I've got my green and black sleeping bags left over from the army that I use for keeping me warm. Need to get a new mattress. The stock mattress is rectal refuse in my eyes. It sucks. I'm gonna be getting a nice memory foam. There's two more speakers for the stereo. Stereo in this, about the only good thing about Freightliner is you got a better stereo, or at least you got more bass. That's a 12-volt fan up there. That whole thing actually is more storage as well for people on the top bunk. And then those straps you see, those straps are part of the safety restraint system for the person on the top bunk. You've got, it's all seatbelt material. You've got two buckles there. You got Fastex, it snaps into there and there. And then underneath the bunk, there's three seatbelt buckles. So basically you got this net that's suspended over you that will keep you sitting there in the event of a crash if you're up top. Because this is a non-movable bunk, it is rated to be able to do it. It's questionable by DOT. Apparently there's a regulation somewhere that you can't sleep in the top bunk. But with the way it's configured and the fact that it's got literal seat belts all the way around, you're fine. This bunk also has the restraint system. You got two seat belts that go across, basically like a EMS gurney, but I don't need them because the truck ain't moving when I'm sleeping. All the windows are openable. I got screens on these ones down here and the ones up top. These ones are easy and obviously bigger. The top ones I'll pop when it's hot, because then I can get some convection going on and get some cooler air coming in and the hotter air going out, because it'll get hot as snot up here. I can also control those two accent lights from down here, the switch, and then get light up there, or they're manually controllable. If you actually have somebody on the top bunk, then you just leave that switch up and let them be able to trigger them. But yeah,